Large parts of America's fourth largest city are underwater after the worst flooding in more than half a century. The chilling aftermath of Hurricane Harvey has seen overwhelmed lakes, rivers and bayous with water so high the only way around much of the city is by boat. Several people have died in catastrophic rainfall across Houston, Texas, with a lot more forecast for the week. Basically, the system is hanging over the area now. Bridget Burke reports.
Emergency crews race to pull people from cars and homes as the most powerful storm to hit southeastern Texas in more than 50 years brought catastrophic flooding, tidal surges and tornadoes. The storm caused chest-deep flooding on some streets as rivers broke their banks. Emergency services told Houston's 2.3 million residents to climb onto the roofs of houses if necessary to escape the water.
It was pretty terrifying, I must admit, watching that water come in and keep coming up. So the water started coming up the yard. I noticed at about 1 o'clock in the morning, started coming into various parts at the front of the house, so I started picking things up. From that point, woke up my wife, my son, made sure they were safe, started putting things up high. Around about 3 o'clock, decided to come over to my neighbor's house, their second story, put them up there, and then started grabbing different neighbors, getting them out of their single stories, getting them up into the second story here. So we had about last count, 11 people, 6 dogs, 2 cats. So it's been kind of a Noah's Ark for the last 7 or 8 hours.
More than 1,000 people around Houston were rescued by boat as Tropical Storm Harvey hit the region. The US Coast Guard warning unprecedented rain is expected to last for days.
This is a very, very dangerous storm with catastrophic consequence, and folks need to not underestimate that. It is going to be a sustained challenge for the coming days. Many times folks wrongly presume the wind event is going to be the most challenging event. I've seen over the course of my career, it was actually the water event, and we are in for a real significant water event in the coming days.
More than 64 centimetres of rain has fallen in some parts of the city, with the storm expected to dump a further 120 centimetres in some coastal areas by the end of the week. This man was at a training centre at Houston's Magnolia Park as the floodwaters rose.
Yeah, it's been a real tragic. A lot of people I seen in the water, and they was having a rough time. I'm just grateful of the HPD officer that came to our rescue, because the wind was blowing us away. Took the bike down the street, had my dog in the air. It had me finna get ready to go with the dog. I had a lock to lock on myself with the on the bench. We was like balloons flying in the air.
Scenes of submerged highways and flooded homes in the nation's fourth largest city recalled the devastation that struck New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina in August 2005.
I mean, it's up to my chest right in here. And the water, we live on the second floor, so everybody's on the second floor right now. And the water's probably like on the 4th step already of the second floor. I mean, the first floor's gone. I mean, we try to get everything, especially the food and the canned goods.
The storm struck at the heart of the country's oil and gas industry, forcing operators to close several refineries and evacuate and close offshore platforms. The Gulf is home to about nearly half of the nation's refining capacity, and the reduced supply could affect gasoline supplies across the US, southeast and other parts of the country. Meanwhile, evacuation centres have been set up across the state of Texas. President Donald Trump is expected to visit and survey the damage from tomorrow. For Checkpoint, Bridget Burke.